So, bro, I just got done reading this book by Mark Manson, and it completely changed my life. I feel free. I feel like I can do anything. Okay, I'm lying, but not really at the same time. So, bro, I just got reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck on my first time of my own choice, willingly finishing reading a book and finishing a book for the first time that I decided to pick up. And honestly, like, bro, I literally was like, after reading it, I felt like a big weight's been like lifted off of me, bro. Because I mean, dude, a lot of like the stuff that I worry about, a lot of the things that I think about, a lot of what makes me uncomfortable and scared and lethargic and worried about the future are things that are talked about in the book. I care too much about things that I shouldn't care about. I'm scared of too many things. I think of too many things as being important when they really aren't. And I don't pursue a lot of the things that I actually want, the actual things that I care about. Like, I care about YouTube. Like, I'm proud of the progress that I made. I'm proud of everything that I did so far on the platform. I'm satisfied with the amount of attention that I got. And I think that a lot of the things that have gone in the way, I mean, sometimes I can't, even though I want to, I can't lose the responsibility that I have now of like owning a car. I can't lose the responsibility that I have now of having to make a certain amount of money to afford these things. But I can choose what I want. I can choose what I don't want. I can choose what I want for the future. And before, I just felt like I couldn't. Before, I wasn't sure. But I mean, now that I realize that one day it will all end. One day everything is going to go black and I will die. And everything that I've done and cease to have done, everything that I haven't done will be there. The decisions that I made, the things that I put down, refused to do, was too afraid to do, the things that I said no to, the things that I said yes to, all of these things will be there. And the question is, was it worth it? What was it all for? Was it because I care too much about what other people think I am, or what I think that I am, or the kind of bias that I have, the kind of fears that I have, what I'm afraid of what people will think of me, and does it matter to me? Because, I always think of the possibility that my future won't always work out for me, and all these scenarios, and thinking of like what could be, what could not be, what's to come, what's to have already gone by, and the failures that I did. And I refuse to think of like the success that I had. I refuse to acknowledge the fact that I'm going to die, even though I know it's gonna happen. I know that I'm gonna die one day. I just I guess I just forget. I forget that most of these things that I do don't matter. Most of these things that I do don't have that much of like an impact on what's the bigger picture, what I actually want to leave behind. And it doesn't mean that I could just do anything just because I want to die. I want to have a mark on people, the world, not like in the sense of fame, no, but in the sense of the feeling that I did something that was right. Maybe not in the eyes of everybody else, maybe not in the eyes of my family around me, but I want to feel like I did something that's true to me, and that I built not for somebody else. Yeah, working these jobs is probably good. Yeah, I'm making more money, even though it's not the amount that's necessary for the lifestyle that I'm living, but it's good. I'm leaving after like a fucking year, after like a year and a half working at Five Guys, I'm finally quitting. I'm not saying that I'm gonna find like a super high status job, probably another mediocre job just like that one, but I'm leaving that part behind, because for too long I just felt like I couldn't, because I cared too much about not having enough money, that it felt like it controlled me for way too long. And yeah, it took me to get another job to finally get the courage to finally do that. But that control isn't something that is haunting me as it did before. I felt stuck. I felt like I couldn't move up. And I know at some point I'm gonna have to leave these jobs behind too, because there's gonna be something even better. Even though at the time it might not seem like it because of my bias and entitlement. But there is gonna be something better at some point. And then that means I'm gonna have to abandon what I am doing now for that thing. And I think that I'm gonna be okay with that. I think that I'm gonna be okay with the way that things have been going, the way that life's been. It's not the best. It hasn't been the best for a while, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. That doesn't mean that, like, if I get a certain thing, like let's say I get like $1 million transferred to my bank account tomorrow, that doesn't mean that it would be better because of it. So I'm satisfied with the way that things have been, even though they have been pretty shit. But I think that's okay. And I think you should be open as well to the fact that not everything is gonna be okay. And that's not to say that it will always be like that, because it will, and things will get better.